Hey folks, this is Rack James from Vermont. ORS Racks Direct is our rack company. It's really hot today. Doesn't get this hot in Vermont very often. Gosh, it's got to be in the 80s. So hot we got car rack fever. And we're doing car rack videos today. And right now we're going to show you the Thule 460 Podium rack system. The 460 Podium is designed to work with vehicles that have fixed attachment points or fixed mounting points. And they come in all sorts of different configurations. So if you look at the fit guide to determine which rack is appropriate for your vehicle, and it shows the Podium, there will be a very specific fit kit designed exclusively for your vehicle, and also a recommended bar length. I've got a 2006 Mazda 3. This is my ride, and we're going to install the 460 Podium on its factory mounting points. If you have a Mazda, you might wonder, boy, where are my mounting points? I don't see them. Well, they're hidden underneath this molding strip. So you have to do a little bit of modification to the strip, a simple drilling of a hole through it. It's just a thin piece of metal, or you can actually take the whole thing out. Other vehicles will have little trap doors, we like to call them, that'll indicate where the mounting points are. Sometimes they're found along a like a flush rail. There's all sorts of different configurations. That's why it's critical to make sure that you get the appropriate fit kit to work with the type of mounting point that you have. And they all are very specific. Here is sort of the parts of the fit kit, okay? Some of them anyway. And, the pad that rests on the roof, for example, and this kind of gives you an idea, the roof line is kind of rounded, and this pad that's going to rest is contoured so that it'll align the tower or the foot to keep the bar straighter. So very, very specific. But you'll get all these little pieces, and we're going to install one of the feet right now. So there's your pad, the base pad. You've got this bracket that kind of slides into the pad like that. This bolt is what is going to mount and install into your factory mounting point. So, come on over here. The first step, basically, is to thread this into the mounting point. And there's a stop built on the bolt, so you can spin it down maybe by hand until it gets snug. And then you take your provided wrench, and there's a little hex inside of there, and you'll throw the wrench in and tighten. My wrench has disappeared apparently. Oh no, here it is. Okay. Here we go. Little Allen wrench. And it wouldn't be a bad idea to throw a little grease on that thread. Wouldn't hurt a thing. And tighten it until it's snug. And there is your mounting post. The foot is going to slide right on top of that. Back to our foot. Got our pad. We've got our bracket. There's the hole that the bolt is going to go through. And then we've got two other bolts there we are going to use to attach the foot. The foot will slide into place, and it has threaded inserts. So once you start to thread these bolts in, you'll feel the bolt catch the threads, and you're going to want to tighten this a little bit. Now, by tightening these bolts, that is what is going to tighten the bar into place. So, before you go too crazy, you want to slide the foot onto the crossbar. And that way, while these are loose, sliding the foot on won't be a challenge. And the tighter you go, the tighter it will be. So I would recommend snugging these bolts up just enough so that the foot doesn't move on the bar while you move over toward the vehicle. You don't want the foot sliding off the end and landing on the top of your car. By the way, it's not a bad idea with any kind of an install, throw a blanket or a towel down on top just to prevent, any wrench from slipping out of your hand and scratching your paint. So this is pretty much ready to go onto the roof now. So I'm going to bring it on over here. And this always helps to have a buddy. But my buddy's filming right now, so I kind of am on my own. But you can drop this down onto the post, and then maybe walk over there with your wrench. And you can loosen this now that we've got it in place. It's not going to go anywhere. And this will slide along the bar. And you can drop it down onto the post. And then the bar can move between, once you loosen that bracket again, the bar you can move the bar back and forth to center it. And you know, I'd say eyeball the thing the best you can. And then once you've got it close, you can kind of measure maybe the outside exposed length of bar and even it out. So now that this is in place, it's just a matter of tightening everything down. So let's assume our bar is perfectly centered. We're going to go ahead and just tighten these bolts nice and snug. Imagine that those are at the perfect tightness. And again, don't over tighten, just good and firm and a good solid resistance. So that's not going to go anywhere. And then the last thing, you've got a little tension washer and this other hex bolt. You drop that right on top of the mounting post. Slide this down, and you have a little wrench provided to tighten with. It's one of these anyway. It's this one. There we go. So you tighten till that's good and snug. When it's properly tightened, you should be able to grab the bar and foot and rock it, and the whole car kind of goes with it. You don't want to see any play developing in the pad. So that's tight, imagine. The last thing is the cover, which just slides over everything. And I would certainly recommend using a lock pack. The 544 from Thule, four pack of locks. You'll have one core that will install in each of these covers, and that will prevent someone from coming along and removing your rack. But if you decide not to use lock cores, you've got to use this included sort of dummy lock, if you will, and that will keep the cover in place. You just use like a screwdriver right there, or maybe this wrench would work just fine. Nope, well, yeah, maybe. Whatever you got to do to give it one half turn and lock that into place. It might be a quarter turn. And then, of course, don't forget your end cap. And there we have the complete 460 Podium system. One other thing to consider is a fairing. You're going to put crossbars on your naked roof. You're going to get on the interstate, and at about 55 miles an hour, you're going to hear a howling noise. And it's not, ghosts coming after you, trying to spook you. It is the sound of your racks making noise. You stick on a fairing. It's a big plastic shield. It directs the air up and over the bars, and it quiets the ride down almost 100%. So consider that when you're making your base rack purchase. I'm all set to go. I can throw on my bike rack, ski rack, kayak rack, cargo box, whatever. And I'm all racked up. Thanks for watching, folks. I'm Rack James from Vermont. Have a great day.